Good morning, everyone. Our Moravian reading this morning is from the book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 10, through to chapter 2, verse 5. And Paul is writing to Titus, who was leading the church in Crete, and he's addressing some of the problems in the church. It seems that if you read verse 11, there were people teaching whole families, it says, for dishonest gain and leading them into unsound ways. It seems that people have not changed in 2,000 years, and even now that's an issue in our churches. We are blessed in Frontline with a godly pastor who teaches sound doctrine and seeks to live an authentic Christian life. But it's not the case everywhere, and in many of our travels we see awful examples of church leadership. You drive through cities and there are big posters up showing photographs of enormously fat men who are proclaiming themselves as great apostles or teachers. And we know that those in their congregations are being taught a gospel of prosperity, which encourages them to give to these ministries. So some of the very poorest are propping up the opulent lifestyle of these ungodly men. And it's a real responsibility now that we fit into the mature end of the church family to be an example and to live lives that encourage others to be authentic. I was very blessed as a young Christian to have the friendship of a godly woman who'd been a missionary for many years. And despite being crippled with rheumatoid arthritis, she was always available for a chat. And I would go round and learn from her wisdom and her grace, not just in what she said, but in the person that she was. I was also blessed as a young doctor by an older GP who allowed me to do more of the morning sessions and fewer of the afternoon surgeries, which meant I could pick my children up from school. And I tried to institute that as a more senior doctor because I do believe that we pay things forward. And I was really shocked when one of our nurses said, well, I used to have to do those hours. Why shouldn't they? And sadly, instead of passing forward blessing, she was passing forward bitterness. We were also very privileged as medical students to have a very well-renowned professor come and speak to our Christian Union. He was a believer, a Dr. Dennis Burkitt, who had discovered a very nasty tumour prevalent in Africa called Burkitt's lymphoma. He'd also done a lot of research on the place of fibre in bowel cancer. And yet at the end of the meeting, he didn't jump into a big fancy limousine and drive away. He hung around and chatted and encouraged us as medical students. He even helped us put the chairs away. And that experience stayed with us. So I just encourage those of us who are older to be an example to the generation coming up behind us. And for those of you who are younger, I'd really encourage you to find someone you respect and spend time with them, because that will be one of the biggest influences in your life. So let's all seek to learn from Scripture and to put it into practice in our lives, just like the man who built his house upon the rock. So have a good day. Bye-bye.